everyone, I'm Kevin, otherwise known as Forum BXC57, here to bring you another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review, and today I'll be taking a look at the small battlefield accessory playset, the 1984 Mortar Defense Unit. Now, like a lot of these small playsets, the Mortar Defense Unit didn't appear in any comic books or cartoons. It is made up of a bunch of really small parts which don't actually fit together in any way. So even though it's you can configure it any way you want, unfortunately it is a bit hard to collect loose. But it's also a fairly common set, so it doesn't cost very much on the aftermarket. One interesting thing to note is there is a variant of the Mortar Defense Unit. As a matter of fact, there's a variant of most of these small battlefield accessory sets. Starting in late 1988, Hasbro made available through mail order a set of 6 of all of the battlefield accessory sets. This, the machine gun defense unit, the missile defense unit, the ammo dump, the forward observer, and the Cobra rifle range all in one package. But it seems as if they took that from foreign stock because all of them had color differences. The color difference from the Mortar Defense Unit was that the plastic from the mail order version is much, much darker than the green used on the retail version. As I said, very simple construction. And when you're done with that, what you get is a whole bunch of parts. It's only until you arrange it that you make it a playset. That's only if that's what you desire. What you get is 10 of these sandbags. Very nice texture on the top. Has one little molded number in there. This one's number 1. But as you can see, it's also hollow, and there's nothing to peg one sandbag into the other. So while the arrangement is, up to you, they don't really click into each other. Get 2 of these figure stands, and you have to remember, back in the 80s, you didn't get figure stands with the figures themselves. The only way to get these was through the Battle Gear accessory packs or through small playsets like this. You get a nice 55-gallon drum. It doesn't have any opening top or bottom or anything like that. It's actually a fairly good size. There's a figure next to it. That's fairly proportionate, I would say. Makes for a nice diorama at the very least. You get a ammo crate with some mortar shells, I'm supposing. They seem rather long to be mortar shells, but sure, whatever. You get 2 gas cans. These handles seem to be rather big, I would say. I really wouldn't recommend trying to get a figure's hand on there. And finally, the star of the show is this EX335 lightweight company mortar. It's a 60mm LWCM. I'm not sure if this is actually based on anything in reality, though. I mean, it shares some, I guess, functionality with the real-world M224, but that's only because this is a mortar which doesn't need a bipod and it has a handle at the back. All the other things, like the details, they just don't match up with anything that I'm familiar with. Speaking of which, this is Short Fuse's 81mm man-portable medium mortar. And you can see it does have quite a lot of things from real world. So it's a bit shorter, but obviously a bit thicker. Here's an example of an arrangement which I've turned into a little playset, or well, basically a little diorama playset. But I think this set really shines when you have more than one. Well, a good sandbag arrangement also helps too. The Mortar Defense Unit's chief strength are those sandbags, where you can arrange them in any way you want, so you could have a customized space. And if you buy more of them, which I generally encourage because they're still fairly cheap, you can expand them. Unfortunately, it's also the big negative in the set because they don't fit together. You basically have to lie them one on top of each other like real sandbags. Unfortunately, because they're hard plastic, they slip around. I discovered that putting a bit of blue tack in the hollow spaces really helped keep them secure. Well, that's all the time I have right now. Please check out my Facebook page for more information and behind-the-scenes photos for these reviews. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for next time to see another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review. See you then.